Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the Certified Ripper Garage YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be addressing some hydraulic leaks on our Ommelift. We got the 2750 or 90 foot. We have, I believe it's our upper scissor ram is leaking hydro fluid pretty bad. It's leaking out of this top seal. Oh, focus. Got little drops there. Let's come up here. Yeah, it's leaking out of this top seal. So I got to order up a seal kit from Omi, and then I'm just taking them off and gonna take them into a shop and have them rebuild the seal. This one's also leaking too. And it's a top seal on this one that's leaking. Well, I'm gonna get these off and bring you guys along. See what kind of fun we can get into today. I think this one's gonna be a little tricky to get off. On the inside in there, there's some, looks like it's kind of electric valve or basically something like that in the front over there in the pin. This one looks easy to get off, and that front one looks easy to get off. But bring you guys along, that's what I'm doing today. All right, bringing you guys a little update on the hydraulic ram. It took a little while to get out. Wyatt ended up helping me with some ideas to get her out. It took probably half an hour or so. Actually, it wasn't very long or very hard. It took like a half an hour to figure out like what tools and how to get it out. But it's basically two plates held on there, and there's a notch cut in. Yep, cut in the shaft there. One on each side, and then one hydraulic hose on each side here. There's an electrical fitting up top to take off. I forget what that is. It's like a magnetic valve or something like that. And then this is kind of interesting. I've never seen this before. It's like a load sensing pin. It's like all electrical and hydraulics and all this cool crazy stuff attached on this pin. 2 set screws on the back side. But that actually came out a lot easier than I thought. But it's just sitting there now. I still have to take the electricals off and then it'll pop on out. Figured I'd bring you guys a little update. This thing probably weighs at least 100 pounds. This thing is heavy as heck. All right, so you've seen I got that one out. That was a beast. It took a little work. It got me working up a sweat. She came out nice though. Morning everyone. New day, new motivation. Let's give you guys an update where I left off on Friday. So I was able to get the lower half of the ram off, or the ram off the lower pin on this side. It's kind of stuck on this side. I haven't got it out yet. It's kind of seized on there. I made a little mistake on Friday before I left. I took the bottom half of the ram off and I took the hoses off, and I didn't have anything propping the ram up, so when I popped it off the lower, the ram extended and squirted hydro fluid everywhere. So that was a fun way to end the day. Just got to clean that little mess up this morning and get the top of the ram off, and they'll be good to go. puller setup on that. All right, quick update on where I'm at with this hydraulic ram and the method I've found to get it off. I got a puller, obviously a puller pulley hooked to the back of it. It took me a minute to get a good nice bite on it. It's slowly coming off. Again, I got the bottom one off. I tried sucking that bottom back up to make it easier, but it wasn't working the other way. The first way I was using was just taking a long pry bar onto the back side here and just trying to pry it off, but that wasn't working. Needed more pulling power. I have quite a ways to go still, but this is the method that I'm using to get this ram off.
That's what I was talking about. That thing right there. Yep. You're good. You're clear. I got you. Go ahead and know that. Keep your weight. Okay.
Woo-hoo. All right, brother.
Nice. Good.
We got it off.
Look at that.
We'll see how much this old girl weighs right now.
Here, try that. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Nah, I'd say like maybe 250. Not even.
Yeah, it's probably.
No, dude, like, I took a 100-pound plate, dude. That's like, I don't know. That must be like 175.
All right, well, you've seen we got that one out. I had to get the help of Wyatt to pull that one off. That was pretty heavy. But it was stuck. It was seized on the, well, I guess, seized on the shaft. Doesn't look bad though. But we got her off. So the next step is just wait for our seals to come in and then go drop them off. Well, while we're waiting for our hydraulic ram seals to come in, I'm gonna go ahead and replace this ISO, the standard ISO hydraulic valve control switch on our excavator. We got the E35. It's all tucked down in here. You can see I stuffed a cotter pin in there to try to get it to turn the last time, but it wasn't working. So the first thing we got to do is pull this floor pan off, and pull this floor pan off, and then pull. There's a couple screws here and a couple screws down under the floor pan. I'm going to pull off, and then we'll clear all that stuff out and get easier access down to that valve. All right, I got all that stuff out. Got the valve taken off. Well, taken off the mount. I'm gonna mark every single one of these lines. I'll probably number them and then take a picture so I remember how they go back together. 6 on one side and 2 on the other side. I'm gonna mark them real quick and then I'll show you guys the quick connect on those units. I got the valve off, but I wasn't able to get you guys in there to see it. It turned into a hydraulic mess real quick. Oh man, it's pretty gnarly. But it's a pretty simple system. So there's little C-clips, or yeah, a type of C-clip. And then the hose just slips into one of these, and then the C-clip goes around it, and that little channel locks it in there. There's a little collar on the hose that the C-clip locks around and keeps it in place. It's actually really easy and simple system. And the reason they mainly did that is because it's so, these valves are so close together, it's hard to get anything on them to take them off or do anything with them. So they made the lines disconnectable so you can get a socket on it take them off. So now we just got to get those off, slap them on the new valve, get the new valve installed, and we'll be ready to go. Look at that, there we are. New valve with all the hose bungs swapped over into it. Alright, I do remember there is a little trickery with this. It's easy to get these clips on, or it's easy to take them off, but it's not easy to put them back on. So, we gotta start with the hardest one in here. Slips in like that. Got one of these clips. And this is the hard part, I remember. This was pretty hard. Okay, I lied, that was pretty easy. You just keep on plugging them in, keep going. It's going good so far, but I don't want to jinx myself, so I think it's just going to get harder and it'll get a little more difficult as you start plugging them in. Come on there. Walk on. They're all on there. Got that put back together. New valves installed. Oh man, it's so sweet. It's smooth as butter now. Man, before it was going out, it was super hard to turn. Let's see. Where's that? Our old one. Yeah, this one, you can't even turn this right now. It's terrible. Obviously can't. It's hard to do with one hand and show you guys, but yeah, that's not turning at all. I'm gonna tear it apart real quick and see what failed inside. I got that valve tore apart. There wasn't really much inside of it. There was just that spring and two ball bearings going through the shaft. The spring was in there and one ball bearing was on each side of it. And then that was pressed in. So this is the front and this is the back. It was pressed in this way. So I just took a punch and punched it back out. There's a gasket on this side and there's a gasket, O-rings, sorry, on this side. But yeah, it's just basically a hollow aluminum block. Different ports, and when you twist it, it changes the flow of the hydraulic fluid, and that's what switches your controls back and forth from standard to ISO. But the only thing I could see that was stopping it from turning was the back of the pin was marred up pretty bad, and on the back of the valve it looks like it had been focused. Looks like it had been digging in. It's hard to see, but there's a little groove in there. It looks like it had been digging in and finally decided to stop turning for us. But yeah, that's what inside of that looked like. Our hydraulic ram seals came in from Track Lifts. These guys are awesome. They were here basically we ordered them on Friday and they were here on Monday, so it's pretty good. These guys are great. Thank you, Track Lifts, for getting these to us. All right, we're pulling up here to Tri-C Machine Shop. We got the Rams loaded up. We're gonna go see if these guys can get us tuned up. All right, new day, new motivation. We got our Rams back from Tri-C. Actually quite impressive. These guys got these back within 24 hours. Well, 24 hours, but I got our fresh seals installed in those bad boys. Woo! I just got to polish. I'm just gonna polish this ram or this pin up. It's a little nasty, and just gonna hit it with some sandpaper and clean it up. Same with these other two up front. This one, well, this one's not too bad, but I'll clean that one up and clean this one up. This one, get whatever that stuff is, get all that stuff off to make the ram easier to go back on. I'll get those cleaned up and then bring you guys along to see how hard it is to reinstall these puppies. Just bringing you an update. We got that ram on. It took a little fighting to get those bearings lined up. We got it strapped up there so it don't fall off. We're just gonna slowly work on it, tapping her in there. See what we get, see how smooth this goes. All right, so we got that ram installed. We had to beat the living scared into it, but we got it on there. I ended up using a socket on an extension just to cover the race of the bearing, or the bearing. It's right around there, and then just beat it on there. It went on nice and smooth, but it did take some time. I'm just reinstalling those C-clips into the ring. Boom. Yep, that one's nice and seated. It's just the seat clips on there, and then this guy. This one takes there's a little spacer puck that goes in this one. It sits nice and flush. That one's on there. It ain't ever coming back off. Alright, this one's done and fully installed. Shouldn't have any future problems for the life of this one. See if she got any leaks when we get her fired up. Alright, we got that ram lifted in. We're gonna get ready to start beating this pin in. There's a cool little hole, access hole to get to that pin. So I'm gonna slam on it from this side, and Wyatt's gonna push down on it from that side and help line it up, give me a hand lining these pins back in. All right, so we got those pins in. I still have to put the set screws in on that bad boy. This one's giving us a heck of a time trying to get the groove through all the, I'm trying to get it to pass. It's been fighting us. All right, everyone, we're back. New day, new motivation. Back on a lift project today. I had to run and grab a tap this morning for a bolt that I stripped out. We're basically where we left it yesterday. The pins. Still beating this pin in. We got some longer stuff to try and a bigger hammer this morning to get the leverage we need to pound her in there. All right, so since the easiest way to beat this pin in is to stand on top of the lift, it's kind of hard standing up here, balancing and smacking that at the same time. So we decided I put on my climb harness and tie into the rafter up there. That way I can lean completely off the side of the machine and be safe, not have to worry about hanging on. Perfect. All right, we got that sucker in there. It was catching up on this groove inside all there. Didn't want to slip past. We had to pull out the big guns. Yesterday we were using the little sluggos, little 4-pounders, and today we had to bust out our splitting maul to get it in. But once we did that, it only took like 2 or 3 swings, like actual good hits, and it pushed it through. And then it was just little taps to get it where it's at. And we just got to put these plates on, and then I reamed out one of these holes. Let's see which one it is. One of them, I think it's this one. One of them was smacked with a hammer and knocked the bolt sideways. It's another yeah, that one. It's hard to see in the camera, but that's not straight anymore. So we've got to re-tap that out, reinstall some hydro lines, reinstall these last sensors, put the pins in, top off some hydro, and then give her a test fire and see what she does. All right, Ram's back fully installed. Wyatt went ahead and tidied up the front, put that cover back on, tidied up those wires, and installed the I keep forgetting what those are called. Installed the set screws in there while I zip tied everything, tidied these lines up, tightened up our hydraulic lines. I had to re-tap that hole and then install the 2 plates on each side, but we're getting ready for our first fire up. We're fired up to see if our hard work's paid off. We've got our hydro ready for when she drinks a bunch down, we could top it off. But yeah, that's where she's at. She's ready to go. Let's see if she works. Give her a how about now? Come on, baby. Let's hope she works. Fired right up. No problem there. Hydro fluid's good. Leaks. I don't think it's gonna leak. Probably check our hoses. Shit, I don't see any leaks. I think we're good, brother. See with this? Looks like your hydro lines are attached good. Looks like we're good. Sounds like we're good. Nice. Should I call that a win, brother?
We'll let it warm up and then we'll do our test run.
Okay.
See. Cylinders warm up.
Hydro fluid's still good. We topped it off with fluid before firing it up.
Let it
Woo! That's exciting. Nice. Everything looks good, no leaks. Wow, that feels good. That's exciting. All right, here she is, fully set up. We're gonna test our functions out, make sure everything works proper. She's drinking it down, that's for sure. Take her all the way up to 90 feet. Make sure all the functions work properly. looks good so far.
Right?
No, baby. All right, we sent her up and brought her back down, and it looks like the seals are sealing. The seals are sealing, it looks like. Let me go check the other side. I think the other side is good too. It's hard to see in there. Yeah, there's a little bit of fluid on the bottom, but I think that's just from running. I think that's just from running up and down. Nice, no leaks though. Everything's working like it's supposed to. I just wanted to give a shout out to Tri-C Machine NorCal in Auburn, California. They did a great job getting these Rams to us. We dropped them off and they had them back to us in 24 hours. They did a great job, no leaks. Super pleased with those guys. Thank you very much. Well, thanks again everyone for tuning in to the Certified Ripper Garage YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you have something to say, leave a comment below. And if you like this type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next time.